So how are you all doing tonight? Thank you for coming out here for the Martin event at this wonderful location here in Pasadena. Craig is from the area of Martin Guitars. He lives like how close to Martin?
I'm a half hour.
He's a half hour away.
South.
I live up in El Dorado Hills, which is up by Sacramento. I'm out in that direction, and I cover territory for Martin, what they call a district sales manager. And I handle California, visit stores like Ron's store here, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Idaho, and some other state. Oh, what is it? Oh, Nevada. I can't remember them all sometimes. I've been all over the country. Then for a while I had the Southeast, I had Tennessee, Kentucky. So I forget from time to time where I am.
He's been with Martin as a sales rep or a DSM the longest of any of the salespeople,
Yeah.
over 30 years now.
I was going to say 3 months, but you're right, 30 years. September will
He
be
still
30
doesn't know what
years.
he's doing. I don't know.
Still don't know what I'm doing. I'm along for the ride. So, we're really proud to be associated with this company. It's a great company. By the way, it's 2016 is the birthday, the 100th, the centennial for the Dreadnought.
Yeah, that's for just the one guitar. Yeah.
Yep, 1916. So this is a wonderful time. You got some birthday cake out there, Ron?
It's a great time to buy a D35.
Yeah, there you go. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to get into a lot of different things, but it's going to be very loose and very engaging. Hopefully you guys can chime in, ask questions, comment. Craig is a wonderful clinician, does this all over the world basically for Martin. And he's going to play some different models. We're going to talk about construction, wood tone. We'll talk about body shapes, neck joints. We'll just get into a lot of these different things. And Craig, why don't you just start with the guitar you got in your
Sure.
hand and play something for everybody. Talk about this guitar. And we'll be out of here by, what is it? It's 10 after 7. We'll be out of here in 10 minutes. Don't worry about it.
And I must say, it's really nice to see some ladies in the group tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you for coming out. Both redheads. Are you related? Are you friends? No. How about that? No, really.
So take some.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you for coming. Yeah, we need. Alrighty, guys. Well, I love traveling with Dante. Like I said, he's been doing this the longest, and it's pretty awesome, the knowledge. And these guys do a lot more than just sell guitars, as your dealers do the same. They know a lot about the instruments. There's a lot of information out there, and Martin's website over the past few years, I think you'll agree, has come up to the 21st century, and there is so much information on there. You can get information on all the models that are currently active. You can also go into the discontinued models, and there's information there. So if you're a history buff, or if you find a guitar that's for sale and you just want to find it, you come in and there's a used something from any given year, you want to find out information on that, there's plenty of that information on the web. It's really cool the way it's set up right now. But what I've been traveling with the last 2 years has been the Retro. It's a series we brought out 2 years ago. And this one happens to be a 0018. Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is the Martin nomenclature, which can be a little daunting, but when you figure it out, you see what those numbers and letters mean, you understand that, you'll see that it's really pretty easy. Every now and then there's a new one that comes out with another letter. It's like, what is that one? But the Retro series came about because Chris Martin, CF IV, our CEO, wanted to have a guitar built that had vintage build characteristics, had a vintage appearance, a vintage sound, but modern playability. And the Retros cover all that ground. The bracing inside is the scallop bracing. And scallop bracing means, I like to say, it looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. You take that wood and you scallop some of it so it kind of looks like a suspension bridge. And what that does is it removes some of the strength from the top. The bracing, you have the series of X's and you have tone bars, but those X's, what they do is distribute the weight evenly on the shoulders and down here at the lower bout of the guitar. So the guitar is constantly wanting to implode because you have a lot of tension between the saddle and the nut. So it always wants to pull forward. Like a light gauge set of strings give you 165, 175 pounds of tension. Medium gauge is considerably more. So to help support that and keep that implosion from happening, this X bracing is what we use. And it was brought about, as we were talking about earlier, as early as 1842. That, let's say it this way, the oldest guitar that we have and that anyone has found to date is 1842, and it's in our museum, a guitar that we had built for Madame de Goni. And we'll talk about her a little later. So we have the X bracing. We have on this model, just the 0018, which 000 is the smaller body. The bracing is 1/4 inch width. All the other models, the bracing is going to be 5/16. There again, thinner bracing, that allows the top to vibrate. So the goal is, and you'll hear this consistently, the goal is to allow that top to vibrate, because that's what creates the sound and the projection and the volume. So think of it as a drum head, okay? This is the head of the drum, this is the side of the drum. You get that top. If it's real stiff on a drum and doesn't move, you don't hear any sound. If you have it tuned to the proper pitch, you will hear much more tone and sound. It's kind of like that. And we have that with this build. We have aged toner on the top. We have open tuning gears and the older vintage style logo. The sound of the guitar, let me play it for you. So then I can tell you what you're listening to. My buddy Ormo. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. What you heard there was a very balanced, focused sound. That's what you get out of small body guitars. A little more brilliance because the 18 series guitars are mahogany. So mahogany backs and sides, and that is a characteristic. The brilliance, the individuality of each note really ringing a very crisp, clear sound, really cuts through the mix. That's what mahogany bodies do. Less prone to feedback as well. So if we had a full back monitor on here, I wouldn't have nearly as much issue as if I had a big body and I'm trying to get those bass tones through it. You know, they really work. So if you're thinking of a guitar and you're not sure about the differences between mahogany and rosewood, don't discount mahogany because it's not an inferior wood. It's right up there with all the other great tone woods, and it's also getting scarce, just like all the other great tone woods.